This is Ben Covage from Elevated Trips at elevatedtrips.com, and we are at 4,000 meters just above Langmusi on the Gansu Sichuan border here, Western China, on the Tibetan Plateau. I was just flying my drone, and it was really, really clear and beautiful, and just in the last minute, we've had the fog roll in. But here's what we were looking at as we're doing this 8-hour hike up to the top of this 4,000 meter mountain. Check out some of this drone footage. It is absolutely stunning. They call this the Swiss Alps of Western China for a good reason.
Langmusi town, or in Tibetan, Taksang Lamo, is a small alpine town on the eastern edge of the Tibetan Plateau. Nestled in a valley shared between Gansu and Sichuan provinces in China, and straddled by two large monastery complexes, just a few hundred meters from each other, one in each province. The town emerged around the Tibetan Buddhist temple, Langmu Temple, or Langmusi, from which the town was founded, and named in 1748.
If you love hiking and if you love Tibetan culture, Langmusi should definitely be on your bucket list. Beautiful hiking. You could easily do 4 to 5 days of backpacking, and we do lead those kind of trips if you're interested in some really wild backpacking. In China in general, it's hard to get into nature in the wilderness because most of the national parks here are actually 100% paved, which means you're walking up a paved trail of paved cement and you're surrounded by thousands of other Chinese tourists. This, however, is the exception. You can see there's just no one around me here. We're just kind of in the middle of nowhere. So we're about halfway between Lanzhou and Chengdu. So if you happen to be driving, either doing a self-driving tour or taking a bus along the way, Langmusi is a great halfway point between Lanzhou or Xining in the northwest of China and Chengdu in the south of China. That would make a great 10 or 12 day itinerary. If you need any help with that, please let us know at Elevated Trips. Love to help out with that and love to help you get out into the wilderness, because in China, unlike America, it's a little bit less accessible. In America, you show up at Zion National Park and you can hike for a couple days. But here, you really, the trails aren't that well marked. In fact, we're just walking on kind of a yak sheep trail. And if you weren't with a guide, you would really have no idea where to go in the mountains because we are so far out here. But yeah, that's what I love about being here is we're away from the crowds. Maybe the first 100 meters has a couple Chinese tourists take a picture of the monastery. But other than that, we are just, after that, basically got the whole hike to ourselves, which is great. So at 4,000 meters, there's some prayer flags behind me, but they're totally covered in fog. And we're going to be heading down from here into a Tibetan nomad stay tonight, where we will be experiencing some Tibetan culture and learning about yaks and sheep. Super close call, guys. I was just flying my DJI drone here, and behind me there's a 700 meter drop. So just 15 meters behind me, this cliff just drops right down the valley. It's hard to see because of the fog, but this is a severe drop, and we just kind of hiked up that drop today, and my drone just lost its battery. The battery just shut off a little bit early, which was a little disconcerting. Sometimes cold affects batteries, and 4,000 meters, it's pretty cold, obviously, up here. And almost dropped off the cliff. Probably 10 more meters and it would have been gone. But fortunately, it was close enough to me that I was actually just kind of in this grassy area. But had I been flying it over out that cliff area, it would have been gone forever. It would have taken a 700 meter instant drop to its death. So thankful that it just happened to land in a really, really good spot at the right time. Classic Tibetan grasslands here. Yaks just lounging around. Must be probably about 200 sheep behind us, maybe 50 yaks. So this is probably one nomad's particular herd. Usually nomads will kind of have both sheep and yaks in their herds, and a full-grown yak could be worth between 4,000 to 6,000 kwai, or renminbi in Chinese currency. That could be about 800 to 1,000 US dollars. A sheep is probably worth maybe 500 kwai. About 100 US dollars to 200 US dollars. So that just depends on the size and age of the sheep and yak. So there you go. That's the Tibetan bank account right there, roaming the grasslands. And yeah, that's where they keep essentially all their currency and all their financial investment is in these animals. Going up this road here, you can see it's pretty muddy. Thank God it's not raining right now. It's a little cloudy. But if it was raining, this would be a total mucky mud fest. You can see the tents behind me. These are where the nomads live that herd the yaks and sheep. And we're basically going to be driving through this terrain, same kind of rolling grasslands for the next hour or two. All right, this is our nomad camp outside of Langmusi town. It rained all night last night, just pouring down, torrential downpour. We were just in our tents the whole night. But it's cleared up a little bit now, and you can see the sheep are headed out to pasture. So we'll go out all day, and then they'll come in this little fenced-in area behind me, and then they'll pasture in at night to protect themselves from wolves and thieves. And then behind me, there's also a dog works all night long and basically alerts the nomad owners if the sheep or yaks are in trouble.
Langmusi is located at the headwaters of the Bailong River, or White Dragon River, which eventually flows south into the Yangtze at Chongqing in Sichuan Province. Langmusi is home to many 4,000 and 4,500 meter mountain giants, most of which have gentle grassland slopes that lead up to rocky ridges. To the east of Langmusi are the Min Mountains, which form the easternmost edge of the vast Tibetan Plateau. West of Langmusi are the Xiqing Mountains. The mountains directly south of Langmusi form the divide between China's two major rivers, the Yangtze and the Yellow River basins. Beyond these mountains are the expansive Zoyge wetlands, which drain the Yellow River.
Woo! So beautiful in here. Yeah, it's totally awesome. This is Ben Cubbage from Elevated Trips at elevatedtrips.com. Subscribe to our channel for more adventure and travel, seeing the unknown and unseen places of China and the Tibetan Plateau.